meet or you cannot beat the competition with the MNC companies when it compares to the consumer cooperative stores. Cash sales, everything is cash sale. You don't give any credit to anybody. Any person who gets a majority, he wins and he becomes a president, and then he will form his team. Whatever the capital is contributed, only for that extent it is limited. They don't want to share more profit with more people, so that is why they'll only limit themselves. Hello everybody, a warm welcome to one and all. I'm Abhilash Chandra from the Department of Business Studies in Vidyashram PU College, the Temple of Excellence. Welcome to the next session of internal trade. Now, so far we got to know that internal trade is divided into two. One is the wholesaler and the second one is the retailer. And as we have done so many sessions now, you got to know that we are not concentrating more on the wholesaler, but we are too much in concentration of retailers, because the entire business revolves around the retailers more than the wholesaler. Now, if you understand the retailer, we have two types of retailers. One is called itinerant retailers, and the secondly we have is the fixed shop retailers. When we understood itinerant retailers, what happened is they are the people who don't have a particular place and they go to one place to another place in search of customers. Then we also got to know about one of the other retailer, that is the fixed shop retailers. Today I'm going and explaining you consumer cooperative society, which comes in the fixed shop retailers. Now, a consumer cooperative society, what exactly it is, or consumer cooperative store, what exactly it is. So here you need to know that it's an organization owned, managed and controlled by consumers themselves. That means you don't have a middleman here. See, when you don't have a middleman, what is the benefit? You will actually use the unwanted things, that is what you were giving the middleman, those things you will actually use it for yourself. The objective of such store is to reduce, please understand the word, it is to reduce the number of middlemen who increases the cost of produce and thereby provide services to the members. So here what happens is they'll form a cooperative society. In that they'll have a cooperative consumer stores, and what happens is they'll protect the members of that cooperative society. So this is what is one of the form of fixed shop, where you have a place for trading and consumers will be the person who will be in charge. Advantages of cooperative societies or cooperative stores. The first one is easy information. That is, you are supposed to go voluntarily. That is, voluntary membership should happen. Membership should happen. Voluntary. And limited liability. That means you are supposed to register the store. Register. Democratic management. When I say democratic management, that means one person, one vote. One person, one vote. That is, everything is what? Democracy should be there. Lower prices, because you will actually reduce the middlemen. That is the reason what happens here is you will have lower prices. Cash sales, everything is cash sale. You don't give any credit to anybody. And the last one is convenient location. You will actually have a convenient location, that is a residential, you will be using it more. You don't need a central location the way the departmental store will operate. So I've told you easy formation because of voluntarily memberships. The volunteer members will be what? They'll come voluntarily and then they'll participate here. So easy information. Now what happens is, the easy information in the sense it is easy to form a consumer cooperative society. Any 10 people can come together to form a voluntary association and get themselves registered with the registrar of cooperative societies by completing certain formalities. Now what happens here is, now minimum is given, that is 10. but maximum they have not mentioned. They have not mentioned at all. So voluntarily they'll come and they'll be the member of the cooperative society. In that, if they want to make a consumer stores, they'll get some loan from the cooperative society itself, and they are supposed to pay the interest of it. Now the minimal interest will be there because consumer cooperative society is done only to favor the consumers themselves. Next is limited liability. Now we need to know that cooperative society is a form of a business which you people have already studied in the second chapter, that is cooperative society has something called limited liability. The same way here also cooperative stores also is what a limited liability is what you will be getting. That is a limited liability of the members in the cooperative stores is limited to the extent of the capital contributed. Whatever the capital is contributed, only for that extent it is limited by them. Over and above that amount, they are not liable personally to pay for the debt of society in case the liabilities are greater than its assets. So here what happens is, if you supposingly there is a person who is in the cooperative stores and he has debts of say 10,000 rupees, and his capital or investment was only 6,000 rupees. Now what happens is, though he have a personal property and that is say 60,000 rupees, he is only liable for this 6,000 rupees, but not more than that. That means it is a limited liability. So please understand, still 4,000 though he is supposed to give the debts, he'll be not responsible, is what I really want to tell you people. That is, the personal assets are 60,000, he will not give 4,000 from the personal asset because it says that limited liability. It is not unlimited, it is limited. Democratic management. When I say democratic management, cooperative societies are democratically managed through management committees which are elected. See, election happens by the members. Each member has one vote irrespective of the number of shares held by him or her. That means what happens here is, you will have a president. You will have a president. And this president is elected. He is not selected. He goes for election. Now, whatever the president decides, the cooperative society and the cooperative stores should obey. So that's why what happens is, each person, that is the members, will have something called one vote. One person, one vote. And everything happens democratically in the sense, any person who gets a majority, he wins and he becomes the president, and then he will form his team. That is the time he will be forming his team. When he forms the team for that particular term, whatever the president and the team will decide, the entire cooperative society or the cooperative store should actually obey for it. So that's why we say it is all democratic management. And here what happens is, irrespective of the number of shares, in the sense, whatever is their contribution, whatever they would have invested, whatever their capital is, it will not matter. The only thing matters is what? One person will go with one vote, and whoever becomes the president or the team is formed or the council of ministers is formed, and those people will only go with the decision making, and people should obey that. Lower prices. Now, there is the absence of middlemen. When you go with absence of middlemen, now the middleman will not create any demand or supply, so there is no volatility of pricing. So a cooperative store purchases goods directly from the manufacturers or wholesalers and sells them to members and others. Elimination of middlemen results in lower prices for the consumer goods to the members. Now here the members are themselves the consumers. So what happens is, they will be actually minimizing the middlemen. See, especially when the middleman comes, what happens is, middleman will only go for what? Commission. So you are saving what? You are saving that commission. Then they'll go with brokerage. Now again, you will be saving that brokerage. The third one is unnecessarily you will be giving money for the middleman, for transportation, for exchange of goods. Now here what happens is you don't have any kind of this. So all the things are eliminated. When it is eliminated, what happens is you will get more benefit, and the price of the commodity or the product will be very less because you will be getting it from the manufacturer itself. Cash sales. Now here everything happens with cash. That is, the consumer cooperative stores normally sell goods on cash basis. As a result, the requirement for working capital is reduced. Now whenever you go with the working capital, you are supposed to know there are two types of capital. One is working capital, and one more is fixed capital. See, when you go with the cash sales, the consumer cooperative stores normally sell goods on cash basis. That is, that particular time only they'll collect the money. As a result, the requirement for working capital is reduced, in the sense day-to-day activity, whatever you are supposed to get it done, you will not be having the cash sales here in the working capital. So what happens is, whatever the working capital is there, it is different, and whatever the cooperative society, the stores will have, that will be different. So you will not have any burden with too much of money. Next is convenient location. Now consumer cooperative stores are generally opened at convenient public places where the members and others can easily buy the products as per their requirement. So here what happens is, wherever is nearby, where floating population is more, the consumer cooperative society will check that where the consumer members are there, only there the store will be placed. Now, limitations of consumer cooperative stores. The first one is lack of initiative. The reason is proper education will not be there. So here what happens is, you don't have a proper education. Storage of funds, that is shortages of funds will be there. Lack of patronage will be there. Lack of business training. The reason is those people are not specialized, or they are not skilled. They are not specialized, or they are not professionals. So these are the things which will be the limitations of consumer cooperative stores. So here, if you understand lack of initiative, shortage of funds. When I say shortage of funds, what happens is people will be in the middle class level, because only those people will be here in the cooperative society who cannot give more money. So what happens is, the class of people also you are supposed to consider. Lack of patronage, in the sense you will not be seeing that what exactly the activities will happen, because you will not follow it properly, because you are not specialized or professional. Lack of business training. Now you cannot meet, or you cannot beat the competition with the MNC companies when it compares to the consumer cooperative stores. So first one is lack of initiative. As the cooperative society are managed by the people who work on honorary basis. When I say honorary basis, what happens is, for a very nominal amount, there are few people who don't even get money from the cooperative stores basis. There is a lack of sufficient initiative and motivation amongst them to work more efficiently. See, when money is in the table only, we feel like working more. When we feel like working more, what really happens is we want more incentives and fringe benefits. But here in cooperative society, they'll work for the honorary basis. That is, only because we are supposed to work, we are supposed to go for it. So here what happens is that initiative will not be there the way it happens in other retailer business, where he gets more profit. That is shortage of funds. The primary source of fund for a cooperative store is the money raised from the members by issue of shares. Now they'll have small shares. The stores generally face shortage of funds as membership is limited. This comes in the way of growth and expansion of the cooperative stores. Though here what happens is the stores will have a limited membership, but here until now I'll tell you there is no proper limitations for membership. But usually what happens is within the circle, whenever they go with it, they don't want to share more profit with more people, so that is why they'll only limit themselves. Lack of patronage. Now, the members of the cooperative stores generally don't patronize them regularly. As a result of this, the stores are not able to operate successfully. They'll not check what exactly happens. They'll not be going with, because they'll not be qualified. Not be qualified enough to patronize the things. And people, whoever wants to patronize also, what will happen is the other members feel that they are doing some fraudulent act or they are doing something. So what happens is usually people will not be successful here in cooperative consumer stores. The reason being is what? One is education will be less, training will be less, development will be less. They don't know what exactly to do it. They don't have that competitive edge with other retailers and other business firms. Next one we have is a lack of business training. So please understand here, students, training is something which will definitely enhance your specialized knowledge even more. So here what happens is the qualification is less and the training is not given to the consumer cooperative stores. The members will actually get a few trainings by the government, but what really happens is those members will not be adapting those training. The reason here is very simple, that is education. Now, people who are educated, they will not be there in the consumer cooperative educating them. That is, they will not be there in the consumer store. They'll rather go and open some other retailer shop. But here when it comes to educating, what happens is the government is doing so many things to the cooperative stores to develop, but there is no initiative from the members itself. The people entrusted with the management of cooperative stores lack expertise, as they are not trained in running the stores efficiently. And the president, whoever gets elected, he goes and he gives a letter to the government to give more subsidiary and all these things. The government is also doing so many things, but what happens is the initiation should come from the cooperative stores. There are a few cooperative stores who are doing really good in business because of people coming from educated family and then starting the business. But still in India, say Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand and other places of north and northeast, what happens is still the cooperative stores are lagging behind. But if you understand these merits and demerits, you will get to know that the cooperative stores have more advantage over the demerits. When you see the advantage, that is the middleman is eliminated. When you eliminate a middleman, what happens is you will be saving so many things. And if you want to build a cooperative stores within your locality, you can actually write a letter to the cooperative society. You are supposed to get a membership there. The age factor is 18 plus is what you are supposed to be. Sound-minded you are supposed to be, and then you can enroll it. There is no qualification required to be a member of consumer cooperative stores. But here what happens is after enrolling is what you are supposed to have at least 10 people with you, minimum 10 people to form a cooperative society, and then you can start being start a cooperative society stores and then run successfully, because you have more advantages than disadvantages. So thank you so much here, students. Hope you have understood this session. Thank you so much. I'll see you when I see you.